Previously on Dino Crisis. And now the conclusion. So there is actually a third ending to Dino Crisis, and it's actually the best ending. It doesn't matter which one you pick, which option you pick at the beginning. It doesn't matter if you follow Rick or Gale. It basically involves going to an area you haven't really explored before.
He's a professional, first and
just for an
foremost,
example, we're just going to go with Gale here for the moment. And if you remember, when Gale got crushed by the big giant pipe, he gave you a pulse detector, pulse receiver. And if you use it, it'll show where Dr. Kirk is, and that's exactly where Gale is holding him hostage. So let's do exactly what we did last time and head over there. So let's go through here. Let's get some shotgun ready because we've got to fight through a couple of Theriznosaurs. Need this, you piece of shit. He actually did a double swipe on me there. Oh well, gotta go fast. Just going through here, blah blah blah. T-Rex is gone. Oh no, what could that mean? Blah blah blah. Okay, let's keep going. Through here. Let's see if we can avoid some Theriznosaur there. Nicely done, Regina. You dodged that one. I don't know if you even saw that there. Oh, another Theriznosaur. Better go around here. Let's take care of him. Okay. Once I go here and collect these items that I don't even need. Okay, so instead of going into the weapon storage area, which is just there, what happens if we examine the door that Regina didn't want to go into last time? Well, it actually takes us to a new area, the Heliport transport passageway. See, once you're here, you can get onto this thingamajig, and I guess it's like a tram or something that carries vehicles through the building, from one end of the building to another. So you just ride this doohickey. And let's see what lies beyond here, although the name should have been a hint. Heliport Transport Passageway. So yeah, this is the underground heliport. There is in fact another heliport. So you know what that means? There's an alternative way to get off this island. And the game's making this out to be like a huge discovery because, oh, another way off the island, awesome! It does also raise the point, though, is that we don't need the hovercraft, we never needed to enter the port, and therefore the entire doodad with the whole, the using the stabilizer and initializer and trying to use the third energy to cancel the vortex, that was all pointless. And there was nothing to stop us from finding this either, because I had level A security. I could have very easily have just walked through it. The only reason why we couldn't was because Regina says no. When you try to go through this door before you turn on the third energy generator, Regina's like, no, I have better things to do. So you're forced to go back to the generator and, destroy half the island or teleport it to the dinosaurs or something like that. When this all could have been avoided if Regina was willing to just check what was behind the door. Oh well. The important thing is we found it now, so that's not too bad. Let's go back and tell Gale, who is no doubt still holding Dr. Kirk at gunpoint. Just go into the weapon storage room as usual. See what happens.
You got your man, Gale.
Yes, he seems to have made it his mission to make my life miserable.
Gale, I found a heliport on the way here. Our escape will be quicker if we use it instead.
Fine. Thanks for the disc, Doc.
Disc?
And somehow, Gale doesn't die. Which, I don't know what the difference is this time. I guess waiting a few extra seconds meant that he survives. I don't know how that works, but whatever. I'm sure he can shrug off a few broken ribs and, shattered organs when that thing crushed him. And so in this sequence of events, the secret disc with the data on how to use the third energy as a weapon, that's still kept a secret. I mean, Gale just kind of tells you, but Regina's not really any the wiser.
The doctor's being secured, and Gale's doing fine.
Glad to hear it, but I've got bad news. The hovercraft was destroyed by the T-Rex.
Don't worry about it, Rick. There's a chopper here we can use to escape.
Got it. I'm heading over right now.
And so after that, you just suddenly get a box with the plug and 6 grenades in it. The plug, of course, being for the supply box just round the corner, and the grenades being for the T-Rex. 6 being usually being enough to deal with it. So let's go back and collect Rick while, you know, Gale is watching Dr. Kirk. Before I show off that, though, there are other ways of getting here. Let's say, for example, you chose Rick's path and, you know, you punch Gale in the face or whatever. And here on the map it tells you to go to the port, but we don't want to go there. If you use your the pulse receiver, check that thing out. It'll actually show Dr. Kirk getting the stabilizer in the weapon storage room. I guess that's the point. The weapon storage room has a stabilizer and initializer, isn't it? Because the third energy is supposed to be used as a weapon now, apparently. But, you know, he's there, so there is another way to get there. You don't have to go through the route with all the Theriznosaurs. So let's check the other way. It's just another door with level A security, I think. I don't think I showed it off. But it's another door that Regina won't enter unless, you know, you reach this part of the game. So let's go up this way instead. In fact, if anything, this way is easier because you don't have to fight through all the Theriznosaurs. Well, you can fight through these ones, but there's less in general. Let's see if we can dodge them. Aha, too slow. And there's some laser gates here. Aha. Okay. So let's see what lies beyond here. Port transport passageway. Yeah, this is exactly the same as the other one. The only difference is you get some extra slug rounds here. I guess this is kind of, again, you know, what they use to transport vehicles or large goods throughout the facility. There's a big door here, but you can't use it. So, yeah. I mean, I suppose the advantage of this way, you get some extra slug bullets. Not that you really need them, though, because at this point in the game, you never really had to fight any other dinosaur except for the final boss, which we'll be seeing later. Also, if you check the pulse emitter now, Dr. Kirk is not in the weapon storage area anymore. He's actually at the heliport. Apparently, he's trying to make his escape on the same helicopter. So, let's get to that before he escapes. And now you know what happens to Dr. Kirk if you choose Rick's ending. Dr. Kirk does actually escape and survive, because he knew about this secret helicopter that Regina didn't want to find out about. So you go into here, and then you go to the heliport transport passageway, which is the area just outside the weapon storage area, and then from here it's pretty much the same thing. Now there is a third way of getting here. You'll never use it though, and here's why. Rewind back to the part where I had to assemble my own initializer and stabilizer, and I actually cut out this bit, because I remember there being a level A security door in the researcher rest room, so I decided to investigate it. And here's an Ultraraptor, so let's put him out humanely with a poison dart. Oh. That wasn't humane at all. He was in horrible pain. Oh god, his blood vessels exploded and blood everywhere. Oh, ugh. So yeah, that's how poison darts work. So yeah, in order to use this one, not only do you need a level A security door, you also need to do this puzzle. Do you remember this puzzle? It was when we had to use the escape hatch in Dr. Kirk's personal lab on the B1 level. So of course, this is just basically a memorization game. Or if you're sensible, you get a pen and paper out and just write down the numbers, or letters rather, as they appear. There, all done. Now we have access to the... Oh. No, wait. We have to do it again. In fact, we have to do it 3 more times. You have to do this puzzle 4 times in total. Why would you ever want to do this? This is the stupidest thing. I mean, okay, I brought this upon myself because this puzzle is entirely optional. You don't have to do this puzzle. I just find it strange that something so optional and pointless is so long and convoluted. You have to do this puzzle 4 times, and it takes forever. And also, this puzzle doesn't really make any sense for a number of reasons. Number one, it's a puzzle, or it's a password, which uses the first 6 letters of the alphabet. Which is really weird, because, you know, even if it was something like a numerical password, shouldn't that be more secure? I don't know. And also, it's doing the same thing where it's using the cards to show you what the password is. As far as I know, the only reason it happened last time was because Rick hacked into the computer system. And I don't think he's doing that right now, so this is how the device is supposed to work? It's supposed to show anyone who uses it the password as they do it? And if it does, why would it do it in such a way that tests their memory? Is this like... I don't know. If this is like one of Dr. Kirk's wacky inventions, is Dr. Kirk like some kind of, you know, Dr. Spencer mansion kind of twisted crazy logic where all of Spencer's mansions have to have some wacky trap in it because he's insane? I don't know. It seemed pretty crazy to me, so yeah, one more to go. I can't even pass the time with like dinosaur facts or anything because I've used up all the dino facts in the instruction booklet. Although looking through the instruction booklet, I did come across something very interesting here on page 17. If you look at the very bottom of the page, there is a misspelling. So there you go. Capcom are illiterate. Well, not really much else to say here. We're nearly done with this puzzle, and then we can continue onwards towards our prize. Okay, so I'll just get out my pen and paper and make a note of what I have written already, and then put it in. Okay, we're finally done with that. All 4 passwords are put in and the secret door opens. So now we can finally enter the helipad, right? Wrong! Because this is before you activate the generator, and for some reason, Regina won't go into these areas. If she had just gone in there before, she would have found the helicopter and we wouldn't have to turn on the generator. Do you know how stupid that is? The way the game blocks off certain parts. Anyway, who cares? We're here now. So those are the 3 ways of getting to this point. I think the best way of getting here is the big corridor past the stairway where the laser fence is. It has, I think, the least amount of enemies, and it's generally the fastest way of getting there. So, yeah, let's continue onwards and make sure we catch Dr. Kirk before he makes his escape on the helicopter. Oh, and he's down for the count.
Regina, what are you doing? Answer me! What have you been doing? The hovercraft's just been destroyed by the T-Rex.
I caught the doctor, Rick. There's a chopper over here we can use to escape.
Oh, great. I'm heading over now.
Good. I'll pick you up ASAP. Hurry!
Well, after that cutscene, I guess you can tell that Regina and Dr. Kirk got off on the wrong foot. But I'm sure that kick-started their relationship. You'd think that Dr. Kirk could be a shoo-in with the ladies, but I guess Regina just wasn't his soulmate. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hate myself. After that, you shove Dr. Kirk in the thing, and you get the supply box, which has the same items as it always does. 6 grenade bullets and a plug. And the plug is for the emergency box, which has a bunch of dumb items, but the main thing you want is probably the resuscitation, because you're going to fight the T-Rex in a minute, and the T-Rex can kill you instantly, so that's pretty much what it's for. Yeah, so this is the part where I stopped last time in Gale's path, and it's where we have to go back and get Rick, so let's go and get Rick.
T-Rex is right behind us. We gotta move fast.
Let's go!
Where did Rick go? Me want to explain why me destroyed hovercraft. Hovercraft bad because it uses nuclear energy, and nuclear energy has huge problems in terms of the environmental impact. I'm stuck.
Rick, now!
Help, little help here. Hey, don't leave me. This thing's heavy. Hey, where you going? Come back!
So here's our fight with the T-Rex. Let's equip our old trusty grenade launcher. 9 grenade bullets, so let's go and shoot him. It's pretty much the same thing as the hovercraft fight. Well, except less retarded because he's not gliding along like a motorboat. When he's at close range and he roars, he kind of bashes his chin against you, and that does a whole bunch of damage like it did just now. Otherwise, the main thing you have to avoid is the trademark instant kill move. You can tell when he's sort of lifting his head up and about to turn it sideways. But yeah, if you shoot him while he's doing that, you should interrupt him. Otherwise, pretty simple. You unload about 6 grenades into him, maybe 5, and you're pretty much done. Fry the... Never mind. Yep, that just happened. You didn't imagine it. They really did use that sound effect. They really did drop a bomb on a T-Rex. It really did cry out to me. Oh, that ending's amazing. I love that ending. And they couldn't resist having a helicopter riding off into the sunrise ending, could they? Nope. They gotta do all the Resident Evil tropes in this game. And so there's the best ending of Dino Crisis. The ending where all of the team survive except for Cooper, but no one cares about him, and you capture Dr. Kirk. I suppose the only downside is that Regina never does find out the true nature of the mission, which is to basically take all the data on how to use the third energy as a weapon. But either way, the mission is complete, and everyone survived, so good job. And that ends my playthrough of Dino Crisis. I hope you enjoyed. I tried doing a little more thorough of a playthrough than what I normally do. I went for pretty much 100%. Almost. I did miss out one thing. I'll go over that in another video I'll put up after this. But yeah, it was like I tried to show off all the different branching pathways, and for me it was interesting to go through each one of those and see how they differed. And I hope you found that interesting too. I mean, this game can be pretty boring, much like Resident Evil, I guess, when you're kind of stuck or doing boring puzzles. It can be boring to watch, so I tried to make it interesting. I tried to break up the monotony a little. That's why I did the stupid trespasser thing. I hope that wasn't too out of place for you. But yeah, overall, a pretty good game. Not very scary, a little antiquated and out of date as well. I think that if Dino Crisis was to be revived as a series, if they ever did bring back Dino Crisis, it would definitely benefit from going down the more actiony kind of route. A lot of people get upset when we talk about, new Resident Evil, how Resident Evil 5 and 6 are kind of super hardcore action. I think Dino Crisis would definitely benefit from something like that. Because, dinosaurs aren't particularly scary, but they make pretty good enemies. Okay, what I'm basically saying is that if Resident Evil 5 had dinosaurs in it, it would have been the best game ever made. Come on, Capcom. You know what to do next. But it's not over yet. We have a debriefing. Now, of course, this can change depending on what endings you got, so here we go.
The final report of Operation Dr. Kirk. Agent name, Regina. Dr. Kirk. Status, unknown.
Due to unforeseen elements of the area, we were unable to recapture Dr. Kirk. His survival is unknown.
Gary. Status, deceased.
Due to uncontrollable circumstances, Gale had to sacrifice himself in order to protect the target.
Dr. Kirk. Status, recaptured.
We have recaptured Dr. Kirk, who is currently negotiating future experiments with the military high command.
Gary. Status, alive.
Gale did survive, but he is seriously injured and is currently recovering at our military medical facility.
Rick. Status, alive.
Rick is currently analyzing the data that was recovered from Ibis Island.
Regina. Status, alive.
As for myself, I'm ready to begin my next assignment.
Tom. Status, deceased.
Tom was attacked and killed by a giant reptile that was inhabiting the island. He will be missed.
Cooper. Status, unknown.
That's the best picture you have?
We lost contact with Cooper at the beginning of the mission, and have not heard from him since then.
You don't even see his face.
Disc. Status, recovered.
The military R&D department is currently analyzing its contents.
Mission complete.
And so, in true survival horror fashion, you get graded. Well, actually, no, you don't get graded, but you get shown your stats and how well you did. I don't know, it's weird. A lot of horror survival games do this. I mean, Resident Evil does it, this does it, Silent Hill does it. I guess that's it, really. But the point is, a lot of them do it, and it's weird. Anyway, completion time, 3 hours, 43 minutes. Pretty fast. I guess this game's pretty short if you know exactly what you're doing, and luckily for the most part, I did, so no dawdling here. So we have a special mission, apparently. This might be referring to New Game Plus, or the unlock we just got. Completing the game in under 5 hours gets us a special unlockable. It's not Regina in a swimsuit, this is no Metroid, but we do get this picture for not using up any continues. Mad skills. It's a picture of Regina in a leather jacket, which isn't actually one of her unlockable costumes, which is a shame because it actually looks pretty neat on her. No, our reward for completing it fast is this. It's basically some kind of extermination mercenaries mode where you have to kill a bunch of dinosaurs. And we get 2 costumes for completing the game in under 8 hours. If you take longer than 8 hours, you won't get those costumes, so don't dawdle too much. So that's pretty much Dino Crisis. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Actually, I'll probably make another video showing off those unlockables I did. I probably won't play the game again to get the last unlockable, but I'll tell you what it is. See you guys next time.